Well, Jennifer Carpenter, coming off another great season of Dexter, how did your character, do you feel like, develop over this past season?
Well, I think there's always been, I think Deborah has sort of had a more drastic arc than a lot of the other characters, at least that she's matured and changed more than evolved more than a lot of the other characters. And she's reached a certain maturity in her job. And I think she had certainly surprised me and surprised herself by the twist at the end when she actually unknowingly lets Dexter go. And that's a decision that I still struggle with and had a hard time justifying, but it at the end of the day, I think it made sense. And I think it's certainly going to inform this year. That's sort of a strange, wild, wide answer, but.
Well, over the last season, you got to work a lot more with Desmond Harrington and a lot of other members of the cast. Just tell us generally about what it's like working with that very strong group of actors.
Everybody has such a unique personality and really strong energy. It's great working with Desmond because while he may not want me to tell people this, he just wears his heart on his sleeve. He's the softest, sweetest, kindest friend, and he puts up this tough exterior for his character and cares about him, Quinn, immensely, and as do all of the actors on this show. And I think that's what sustains it. I think that's why producers don't feel like they have to sort of hover over us all day long. They know that that they put the characters in strong hands. And it makes your job really easy. You just look to the other people, listen to them, and then you have a genuine response because what they're giving you is so authentic.
Yeah.
One interesting thing about your show is there's so many storylines where you might be off, with a suspect or doing something on a case, or you might have one regular cast member with you. But I bet it's a real treat when you see a script where all of you are in one scene together.
It's a lot of fun. It really is. We have a good time together. It also means, like, when I see that we're all together, it means it's going to be a very long day because we have to shoot everybody's coverage. But those are usually the days when we all end up having laughing fits. I know you wouldn't believe that we actually laugh on a show like that, but we do. It's actually a lot of fun to shoot. It's funny that you say that I'm not always with Dexter, that I'm usually just hanging out with other cast members. That's why it's funny to me that people say they have a hard time watching the show, because I rarely see any of the gore. I mean, granted, I see crime scenes, but I don't see him kill, and I don't see the blood, so it doesn't feel like a scary show to me.
And what about a really fascinating thing about Dexter is that every season you get a whole new group of really interesting guest actors to kind of play a season-long arc. Like, obviously we had John Lithgow, who won an Emmy. This past season we had Julia Stiles, Peter Weller, Johnny Lee Miller. What's it like bringing on these new actors each season, and how long does it take for them to really start to gel and become part of the cast?
Well, I think that the show and the show attracts such a high caliber of actors that it doesn't take them long to adjust, because I feel like that's yet another talent of theirs. But to be honest, it feels like it feels like a zoo. Like we sort of are looking at them and trying to get a read on them. They're trying to get a read on us, and before we know it, we figure out where we fit, and then the machine just starts running really smoothly. But you sort of feel each other out a little bit, and that happens a lot at the read-throughs. It feels like a chance to sort of disarm and stop being polite and start getting to the meat of the show. Or the only chance at a real rehearsal, really.
Well, from this past season, we want to talk a little bit about maybe your Emmy chances coming up here in about a month or so in that supporting actress category. And if you get nominated, you'll have to choose an episode. And we're talking with the folks at Showtime, and they, along with us, kind of felt like maybe there were a couple of episodes that were the best for Deborah. One was the finale. You had so many different things going on, especially with the chase, figuring some things out, and then that last scene. That may have been your most powerful scene of the whole series.
Well, I don't think about Emmy chances at all. I don't even put any energy into that. I mean, I hope the show gets nominated. I would love to see the show. I don't know if you're supposed to say that, but that would be amazing. I mean, I had a lot of fun last year, and it's amazing that 5 years and now 6 years in, you can still say that you're challenged and excited by the job that you get to do. I don't know that there are a lot of people in the world that get to come home and say, well, I had a great day at work, and I'm one of those very lucky people. So that's the reward, the fact that we get to keep coming back year after year, that's the reward. And the fact
we'll talk about the finale, though, for Deborah. And as an actress, when you get a script like that and you see so many good opportunities, what was it like for you working on the finale?
I had a really hard time with that because it sort of contradicted what I had thought was true about what was at the core of Deborah. Was that that things were right or wrong and there wasn't a lot of gray area, that she bled blue. She was a cop through and through. But as the producers and writers had more and more conversations with me about it, I realized that sometimes the key to moving forward is in an episodic television show is connecting it on a really personal level, not only for me but also for Deborah, remembering stories, the origin story of her with Rudy and how it was her way to sort of get closure for what happened to her with Rudy. It was. And I guess that's the thing that made it possible for me to play that. And now that is true, and the producers and hopefully the fans think that it was successful and honest, it opens up all kinds of possibilities for what's true about Deborah that I haven't considered. And that's what's making this season 6, so exciting. It's amazing this year. I'm really proud of it.
Well, Jennifer, I wanted to ask you a question just about your career in general, because you started off in the movies. I know you mostly from The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which is a great movie, and then you come onto Dexter. You've done a few other things as well, and you've also done a movie called Quarantine. So I'm just wondering if you're aware that you're actually quite a big name in like the horror genre, and fans of that particular genre put you in very high esteem. Are you aware at all about that?
I mean, I think I know that I have a following with the horror genre, which is so funny to me because I don't see horror films. I don't like horror films. I don't like to be scared. And what's funny is when I was in school, I was always cast as a clown, and that's where I was most comfortable. And it's been a battle to sort of get people to see me that way. I think once you scream, people can't unhear it, and that's how they know you. However, I will say that fans of the horror genre are faithful and proud and really enthusiastic, and that what more could you ask for? I mean, actors, I think, are the most insecure people in the world. Maybe actors and comedians. So it's nice when people say that they approve of what you've done on the street. And horror fans are pretty vocal sometimes.
So you're all on Dexter. Are you already filming the new season?
Yeah, we're 2 episodes in. We're getting ready to start the 3rd. And
who are some of the guest stars this season?
We have Mos Def, and we have Colin Hanks, and it's really exciting. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I have a couple of ideas what some of the twists are, but I know there are 2 or 3 that they're really keeping a secret. So I'm really excited. The 4th script just showed up at my door, and if it were a film script, I would be stalking the director. I would be like figuring out who I could pay. I'd be dyeing my hair any color they wanted. Like I would want to be a part of it. It made me laugh. It felt like there were elements of it that felt like Silence of the Lambs. It was an amazing script. So
well, it must be exhausting.
Really
it must be really exhausting keeping all the show's secrets from fans and friends and family. Like, I mean, you always have to be tight-lipped, right?
It is really hard. I have a hard time when I buy gifts not saying, I got you this. I can't. But I know I wouldn't want to ruin it for anybody because, I mean, especially like my family and friends, they're they're such supporters that they watch just because they care about me, and I wouldn't want to ruin it for them, you know. So it's too good to ruin it. It's too good. Why would I do a disservice to the show and the writers?
Yeah.
Well, listen, we really appreciate your time today. We do wish the show and even you the best at the Emmys coming up this fall. And maybe some director out there will give you a shot at doing a comedy coming up soon.
I hope so. Your accent makes me homesick. I'm from Kentucky. It's really
Oh, okay.
sweet.
Do I have an accent? Does Rob have an accent?
You do have an accent.
Yes. I do too, especially after I talk to my family. Yeah.
Oh, really? I can't hear it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jennifer.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.